rounds up.
And he's going to land it.
Situated just beautifully, minutes from downtown Tampa, Florida, Raymond James Stadium tonight welcomes thousands of fans and the stars of Stadium Championship Series West. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Monster Jam Primetime. I'm Scott Jordan, alongside the 7 Deuce, Mr. Adam Entignap. The West Series continues to roll through the Sunshine State. Last round in Miami, Mike Pagliarulo drove Excalibur to his first Stadium Freestyle win. Adam, Mike is a Rookie of the Year who has shown flashes of brilliance in his short career.
Yeah, you know, Mike Pagliarulo really does drive aggressively, and I love that style. We've seen him shine when he filled in for Cole Vernard in the Black Pearl. That was amazing, and now he is really starting to shine in Excalibur, getting that freestyle win. So hopefully he can do that here again tonight.
Adam Anderson continues to struggle in Gravedigger 42 as he missed nearly all of last round, breaking after his first race. What's it going to take for Adam to get the truck right and get back into the series points race?
You know, one of the big things is this does happen in motorsports. You know, sometimes your equipment isn't as good as the driver is, and that is the case for Adam Anderson. But they are working tirelessly on the truck. It is up to his crew chief and up to the communication of Adam Anderson.
Tristan England's beginning to separate himself a bit in the point standings, winning both overalls in Miami. We have seen Tristan be great throughout his career, but I don't know that we have ever witnessed Tristan being this great.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Tristan England, everything is culminating into the perfect moment for Tristan England. He is getting it done. He's a second-generation driver, and you can tell all the work that Tristan England has put in is coming to fruition right now. He can do it all every single competition.
Well, everyone is trying to catch the former World Finals Racing champion, but we've caught him in the pit area as we join Leslie Mears in the Northern Tool and Equipment Pit Report.
As you mentioned, guys, Tristan comes in as the points leader. How much more confidence does that give you as you pick up this team, which started in St. Louis?
I think the only thing that being a points leader, like what it is it's bragging rights for my kid back home and my wife and even my dad. He thinks he's proud, super proud. Mom is too, but it's just a little bit of bragging rights. The rest of it, you got to keep up with it. You got to come out here. You got to put on a show, not only just for the points, but for the fans. And the fans are the real ticket because they have the judging aspect in their palm of their hand. So they've been a little fair to us this year. I'm digging it, but we're here in Tampa and we're an hour away from our headquarters, so it's about to get wild tonight.
The other thing we have to talk about, too, is you picked up this team. Really, really positive in St. Louis. Miami carries it on. How do you keep this train on the tracks?
Well, to be fair, when we went to that arena in Kansas City, it was a non-points weekend, so you kind of feel no pressure whatsoever. Just want to run through the motions. But when I get in the cab of this truck, I want to go round after round after round in racing. I don't want to sit there and watch my friends do it. I want to be out there going round for round, make it to the final. And hey, we're JCB Diggertron, JCB Racing. It'd be amazing to cap off with another win, especially after taking both wins here last year. I love Tampa.
Very confident Tristan in. Talk about the fan scoring. We do have an update on the scoring system tonight. We'll get to that in skills. Let's take a look at our driver lineup. It's a family affair here with the Andersons, the Garners, the Pagliarulos. We mentioned Tristan England, just heard from him, but a driver that's had a lot of success here winning an overall is Todd LeDuc in Megalodon.
Yeah, Todd LeDuc definitely very comfortable. Another one is Nick Pagliarulo. Big moments here for that team.
Here are the current season points standings entering round 9. A 14-point lead for Tristan England over Todd LeDuc. Bryce Kenny is in 3rd. Ryan Anderson currently in 4th. And Cole Vernard in 5th. Zach Garner right there as well as they are battling for that 5th spot. Drivers will compete tonight in 3 competitions: JCB Racing, the Skills Challenge, and Freestyle. Points are awarded based on finish, with 12 going to the winner. And the driver with the most points at the end of the event is crowned overall event champion. Let's get to your favorite section of this show, Adam. Track talk. This Florida sunshine, the humidity causes effects on the dirt. What are your thoughts here?
You know, one of the biggest things that I've learned in my Supercross career riding at Tampa is that there is a small window of each condition. It's going to start out very slippery because they have to overwater it. Then it's going to get really tacky. Then that tacky dirt is going to glaze off and you're going to get a hard packed base. So driving on all conditions is going to be very important for these drivers here tonight.
Let's take a look at our bracket here for JCB Racing. In round 2, Gravedigger, Monster Mutt, Son of a Digger, JCB Digatron get to buy some great round 1 matchups, Adam. I don't usually look this far ahead, but there's a potential matchup between Son of a Digger and JCB Digatron in the semifinals.
Yeah, Ryan Anderson is 19-3, and Tristan England is 7-0 in this stadium. If we get that race, it's the one to watch.
A lot has to happen to get there. We're going to start the bracket off. I said down to the track at Raymond James Stadium. Our first race of the night, 2-time World Finals champion Tom the Duke and Megalodon against World Finals Racing champion Zach Garner in Wildside. Zach is off to a slow start in racing with an update. Let's check in with Leslie.
Zach Garner said he has 2 advantages in this race against Leduc. The first, he figured out the start and how to backside that ramp. The second, he's ran a lot of beach courses over the course of his career, and the sandy dirt reminds him of that.
Thank you, Leslie. Zach 3-5 on the year. I'm sure that will improve. He's picking it up right now. And a great race here so far for Wildside. And look at the fans going nuts here for Zach Garner as you check out the original Super Glue to the Action replay.
See Todd LeDuc and Zach Garner coming around the corner. It's going to be a photo finish.
My goodness, that is a close one. Zach Garner by an edge of a BKT getting the win. Next up is dad, Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco against Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. Jamie 5-6 on the year. Matt 2-6. He gets some big air from Jester off the pod and into that race lane.
Jamie Garner swings a little wide. Looks like Matt stays nice and tight there.
Jamie Garner, though, does catch up on the jump. Now we're rounding here. Gray side corner there for El Toro Loco. Look at Jester on the drift across to the finish. Clips the pod, and El Toro Loco gets the racing win. Here is the original Super Glue to the Action replay.
Wow, I thought Jester had this one in the bag, but you can see he has to check up at the last second, grabs that pod, slows him down just enough. Jamie Garner comes away with a win.
Battle between brothers Nick Pagliarulo, Crack, and Mike Pagliarulo, Excalibur. Let's hear from Leslie on this race.
There's a few butterflies for Mike as he races Nick here tonight, but then he followed that up by saying, Nick usually messes up, so I'm probably going to get him in this race.
We're going to find out if that is the case. Right now, it's all Excalibur here.
Yeah, Excalibur very hard on the throttle. Looks like Nick pushes a little wide in that last turn.
Final push there for Excalibur, continuing the win there for Mike Pagliarulo, 21.544. Here's the Super Glue to the Action replay.
Yeah, you can see right here, Nick gets a bad bounce coming off the start. Has to slow down just a little bit, giving Excalibur the advantage.
Cole Venar and Black Pearl going up against Caleb Blood in Sparkle Smash. Cole is 10-11 in his career at Raymond James Stadium. Caleb with a nice start off the chalk line. Into that red corner goes Black Pearl. Nice drift there. He's got the truck lined up on the corner turn.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but it looked like Caleb Blood just got a little sideways off the start. There might be some ruts there.
Final turn, though, tight goes Black Pearl up across the berm, and that is going to open the door for Caleb Blood to take the win. Check out the original Super Glue to the Action replay.
Let's see what happens to Cole Vernard. It looks like he pushes a little wide, gets off into the cushion. It is slick here tonight in Tampa. The hard pack's coming up, and he misses the race ramp.
That's going to be a 5-second penalty on Black Pearl. Doesn't matter anyway. Sparkle Smash advances. Here's your round 2 bracket. Gravedigger, Sparkle Smash, Monster Mutt, Wildside, Son of a Digger, El Toro Loco, JCB Digatron, and Excalibur. 1 round down, 3 more to go to be crowned a racing winner. Coming up next, Monster Mutt and Wildside kick off round 2. More JCB Racing is on the way on Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by JCB, the official heavy equipment partner of Monster Jam. Welcome back to Tampa Bay for round 2 of JCB Racing. And up first in round 2, Bryce Kenny, Monster Mutt World Finals racing champion Zach Garner in Wildside. Bryce on the year 5-6, 12-11 in his career at Raymond James Stadium. Both drivers get air off the pod. Into the first corner we go. And Zach Garner stays tight. Monster Mutt goes out wide.
Bryce Kenny takes a different line off of the start. It looks like Bryce Kenny's doing well, but he's sliding out in the last corner.
Look how great of a lane Zach Garner took on that finish. Gets another win. Wildside move, and take a look at the Super Glue to the Action replay.
Well, it's definitely a little slick on the finish line red side. Zach Garner getting the traction and coming away with a win.
20.144. Next up, Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger, the 4-time World Finals champion, against Jamie Garner in El Toro Loco. Off the line they go. Gray lane, El Toro Loco. Red lane, Son of a Digger.
Yeah, Jamie Garner hits those ruts on the gray lane once again. That's going to play a huge factor in racing. Ryan Anderson with a big advantage coming into the last turn.
Ryan 16-1 on the year. Perfect turn there to finish it off. Son of a digger. Moving on. And here's the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
You can see Jamie Garner coming off the line. He pushes just a little bit wide, catches the edge of that pod, has to make a little bit wider turn, gives up a few seconds to Ryan Anderson.
Mike Pagliarulo, Excalibur, Tristan England, JCB Digatron. You mentioned Tristan being 7-0. He has never lost on this track. He won both stadium racing events he's competed in. And now he's trying for number 3 in a row. Look at the drift turn there in the gray lane for Tristan England.
Mike Pagliarulo is definitely on, but Tristan England with the advantage. Mike coming into the better last corner. Let's see what he can do.
Strategy to go deep and take that lane on the straightaway. Paying off big time for Tristan England. He gets the win. 20.23 for the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Watch right here. You can see Tristan England goes a little bit farther on that first jump. It looks like Excalibur just comes up a little short.
Caleb Blood Sparkle Smash, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger with more on Caleb. We bring in Leslie.
Guys, Kayla's worried in round 2 here as she's on a completely different track than she ran at round 1. We've seen it really kind of peel away and be a little bit of slick through those corners, but she's actually worried about it getting tacky out here because that's what this track does.
Oh, she clips the pod right there. That throws off her lane. Now she goes deep trying to readjust the truck, and that is the room that Adam Anderson needs to move on. Check out the replay, 20.151.
Yeah, Caleb Blood just comes into that last turn a little too tight, grabs the edge of that racing pod, has to push wide and let off the throttle.
Let's check out our semifinal bracket here for JCB Racing. Gravedigger will meet Wildside. Son of a Digger meets JCB Digatron. Fastest time of the night so far, Ryan Anderson last round, 20.055. Coming up is more JCB Racing with the semis and the finals. That's next on Monster Jam Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by the Utah Sports Commission. Utah, the state of sports. Salt Lake City, Utah, the home of Monster Jam World Finals 24. Tonight's home, Tampa Bay. Raymond James Stadium, the home to round 9 with Stadium Championship Series East. And that brings us to Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger, against Tristan England, JCB Digatron. This is the matchup we thought could happen, possibly would happen. It is here. Ryan Anderson, Tristan England trying to make it to the finals.
The race for the championship points are on right now. Let's see who can come away with the win. Tristan England a little bit behind at the halfway point.
Ryan Anderson with the lead. Now he goes into that left corner. He's going to try to keep this throttle rhythm going on the turn, avoids the pod, and a huge win for Ryan Anderson, about an entire truck length for Son of a Digger, 19.631, fastest time of the night.
That is a statement drive from Ryan Anderson. It looks like Tristan England picks up the front wheel here, leaves on the rear steer, and just pushes a little too wide, giving Ryan Anderson the opening he needed.
Here is Zach Garner, wild side, and he is going up against Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. So the racing champion going up against a 5-time World Finals champion. Into the corner, Zach Garner going wide, takes a straight lane, and Adam Anderson with the lead. Now Zach Garner gets stuck on the turn. That is going to cost him, and it's going to cost Adam Anderson lane choice in the finals.
Yeah, it looks like Adam Anderson had to throw the brakes on. He's not going to get the time he wanted, and huge upset for Zach Garner.
Let's take a look at the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay. What happened here with Wildside?
You can see he pushes a little wide into that first turn. I'm not sure exactly what's happening here, but the track is slick in Tampa.
JCB Racing finals are confirmed. Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger, with lane choice against Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. Ryan with the fastest time of the night last round, 19.631. It's the first time Adam has made it to the finals this year. Ryan comes in 18-1 with 4 wins. But Adam Anderson 30-10 all-time with 5 wins at Raymond James Stadium. And Gravedigger can't even get out of the straight lane to get into the turn.
What is going on with Adam Anderson? He is handing the win to his brother.
Something went way wrong for Gravedigger. Ryan Anderson gets the win. I want to see the replay. I want to know what happened with Gravedigger. 19.968 gets it done for Son of a Digger. But here's the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
It looks like he gets a bad bounce. The rear kicks out there. Has to put the brakes on. Catches a rut in the last corner. And goes off the race ramp. Adam Anderson, uncharacteristic.
Ryan gets the win, and we're going to join Ryan with our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
Ryan, we could tell it was getting a little sketchy out there. You were really tiptoeing around those corners in that last race. What was going on the track?
It was an exact example of slow is fast here tonight. There was a nice, cushy layer of traction on top that quickly got swept away as the rounds were going on, and the ground underneath was super packed and super slick. So it was absolutely about staying slow, staying calm and under control. My crew chief, Bryce Langlois, was in my ear like, hey, dude, watch the corners. They're getting slick. Slow down, and you'll be faster, and that's exactly what happened. Pretty sure Adam went a little too hard, washed out, got me the win, but no doubt, me and Adam in the final round in Tampa was absolutely legendary, man. It's been years since I've been here, and I could not think of a better way to cap off racing than me and him in the final round.
Ryan gets 12 points for the win. We take a look at our first BKT point standings. There's Son of a Digger on top, Gravedigger in second, JCB Diggatron in third, Wildside in fourth, and Monster Mutt in fifth with 8 points, rounding out the top 5. Next up in Tampa was the Skills Challenge. Drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels, or they could do a donut. Each driver was scored by both an expert judge and the fans in attendance equally on creativity, skill, and execution, with 12 points up for grabs. Let's check out our top 5. Coming in fifth, Nick Pagliarulo Kraken gets a bicycle.
Nick setting up for a bicycle, tries to turn into it. Comes up a little short.
Fourth place, Caleb Blood Sparkle Smash. Nice popper on the ramp.
Gets that thing popped up. Grabs a moonwalk. Gets the nose wheelie combination. Gets that thing bouncing. Nice job from Caleb Blood.
8.252. Next up, Bryce Kenny, third place in Monster Mutt. Comes off with a nose wheelie, right back into a moonwalk.
Bryce Kenny decides to grab the backside of the fresh freestyle ramp, gets a nice popper, does the nose wheelie into the moonwalk. Let's see if he can walk it up, get another combination.
In second, Adam Anderson comes on the backside of the 8-pack with a slap wheelie.
Gonna do a slap wheelie here, try to get another combination, slaps it, gets a nice bounce there, and then into a nose wheelie. See if he can make the save, Adam Anderson.
And taking the win, Tristan England, JCB Diggatron, complete control, puts on a clinic right here. Moonwalk, nose wheelie, back and forth.
Oh, and then comes up with a new trick there, pops it up into the wheelie on the pod. What a move from JCB Diggatron.
9.460 gets it done. It's Tristan's 4th skills win of the season, which leads the series, and that's now going to get him 22 points, puts him on top of the latest BKT point standings, tied with Adam Anderson, Monster Mutt in third, Wildside in fourth, and Son of a Digger in fifth. So Tristan England getting it done again, showing why he's one of the best in the sport, showing why he's a series points leader. And we're going to catch up with our skills winner, who's with Leslie Mears.
Guys, we just saw something brand new from Tristan. Now, you said you just came up with it this morning, but I know you've had it in your mind for a while.
Yeah, well, since we got this track fresh in Anaheim, California, the first week out, I knew it was going to be tough. It's such a tight window to get those BKT tires in there, but I know with all the confidence and traction that I have with my tires, I knew I could pull something off. I didn't know it was going to work that great, but I just tried it this morning on the simulator, and I thought, you know what, Crash is going to be tickled to death that I even tried this, because he's seen me do some stuff like that on the simulator before, but watching his reactions while you're sitting next to him on the couch or in the office when we're playing on the big sim, like, it's just so much fun, and I'm just like a big kid out here, just enjoying what I get to do for a living. Seeing all these amazing Monster Jam fans out here, I've seen them in years past, but I've met some new ones, and they're fans of this brand new truck, so it feels good to just dig.
JCB Diggatron and Gravedigger are battling for the win. Find out who buries the competition when Freestyle begins next on Primetime. Monster Jam is proud to partner with and support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit monsterjam.com/St. Jude to learn how you can join us in the fight against childhood cancer. We are back at the home of the 2-time Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers with round 9 of the Monster Jam season. And Adam and I are back in the studio to get you all caught up here on Primetime. Tristan England continues to be red hot. Adam Anderson having his best night of the season. We talked about both of them at the top of the show, Adam. But let's start with Tristan, who's having another top-notch performance.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a guy that's a 3-time series arena winning champion, a world finals champion. This guy can really do it all. He's had the best season he has thought about in years, and guess what? Tristan England, in my eyes, is skyrocketing to the top. If he can get this championship done, he's going to be in the upper echelon.
Adam Anderson has put his woes to rest tonight thus far with 2 second-place finishes. What are you seeing out of the 5-time world champion tonight that has him near the top of that leaderboard?
Well, one of the things that I'm seeing from Adam Anderson is a little bit old. You know, he's not hesitating, he's committing to the corners, and that is just telling me that Adam Anderson is comfortable in that ride, and they have some setting that's starting to work.
So much history at Tampa with the Anderson family going all the way back to Dennis Anderson. So great to see Adam excelling here with the Raymond James Stadium history that family has. Here's your current BKT overall event. Look at Ryan Anderson at 3 points for son of a digger and skills. Very rare, drops him down to 5th, but we have a tie at the top of 22 between JCB Diggatron and Gravedigger. Not everybody's had a solid night. There's been some breakage, a lot of trucks in the back. With an update from the pits, let's go to Leslie and this Northern Tool and Equipment pit report.
Semifinals in racing caused so much damage out there. This is the broken sway bar block from Excalibur. It should be twice this side. Now we're looking at wild side right now, and what they're doing is they're actually replacing the rear steer pump. And so it's just above his head, so they're putting their hands up underneath to reattach that rear steer pump. That's why it washed out in the corner.
Thank you, Leslie. Here's tonight's freestyle order. Through 6 rounds, 6 different freestyle winners. Adam, looking at this order tonight, do we see a 7th?
Well, I don't know if we see a 7th, but what I do see is 6 drivers that haven't gotten it done, and 2 of them with the name Anderson.
Speaking of the name Anderson, we're not going to have to wait long to see one. Kicking us off tonight on the track at Raymond James Stadium from Kill Dove Hills, North Carolina, 5-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. Comes in tied for the event lead. As I mentioned, a new element tonight for the scoring. So instead of just fan scoring, we have added an expert judge. So the score will be split 50-50. That element was also brought into the skills competition as well. So trying to change it up a little bit. What do you think about that?
Well, I really think that's a push in the right direction for everybody, especially I think the drivers will be especially happy about that. Sometimes you see a fan favorite out there getting a little bit higher score than maybe they should on a certain night, but with that expert judge, I feel like it's going to even out the scoring just that tad bit, and the drivers will be stoked.
I mentioned the Andersons' history. No one has won more freestyle competitions in this building than Adam Anderson. Through 15 starts, 7 freestyle wins. He is winning nearly half the time he steps out on this track. That is an amazing number no matter who you are or where you're at.
Yeah, that really is an amazing number, and one of the big things that I'm taking away from that is just Adam Anderson's night thus far. He's definitely turned it around a bit. He's found some comfort in the truck, and sometimes that's all it really takes is being in a solid stadium where you really like it, you have fans around you, where you know you kind of have to perform, and that could just skyrocket the rest of your season in the right direction.
Gravedigger now coming around. You see some empty stalls there here in Raymond James Stadium. Over the car stack, big time air. Nice brake check, bounces it, greases the wheels up over the jammer and the car stack. And Adam Anderson is starting to feel that throttle rhythm increase. He is starting to get into a groove backside of the 8-pack. We saw that again, puts it back on the wheelie bar. And a great run there for Adam so far.
Nice little slap wheelie. I'm definitely seeing, you know, some different combinations and different types of things in this run. We see a little 2-wheel skills, a little bit of chaos, you know, just a little bit of everything. Fans are going to be stoked on it, and I'll definitely be.
8-pack out of nowhere, goes right after it, comes off the jammer, right after the 8-pack. Beautiful backflip, lands it perfectly, and now here is that ragged edge throwing the truck into the ground style to end the run. Take a look at the original Super Glue to the action replay.
Yeah, I love all the different stuff going on. You see him hit the 8-pack backflip. Great rotation. That thing looks destroyed. It'll probably be the last time it gets used tonight.
8.902. Next up, Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. Riding for Team Tomfoolery, the home state out of Osteen, Florida. Up the interstate near the Deltona area, Matt Pagliarulo has built this Team Tomfoolery empire from being a super fan now into multiple trucks. We see 3 competing on Monster Jam. He's got more IPs on the way. Recreation is one we keep seeing. Michigan Ice Monster he keeps talking about, but right now it is Jester, it is Kraken, it is Excalibur, and Jester flying right now in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Jester definitely putting down a big air there. You know, one of the...
You've gone for the 8-pack there. Would you just have run for it?
I mean, the big thing to me is just like you run into the 8-pack, but you see Adam hit that thing before. You see how much dirt comes off that 8-pack, and I'm just not sure it has the same pop as it did before, and I really think that's why Matt put on the brakes and decided not to just carry his momentum right into that.
I was here in 2020 at the desk the night that Matt Pagliarulo won Freestyle and the overall event championship in this building to kick off the season. He was the current series points leader after one round. What a moment that was for him. We have seen his son win in this building, multiple Freestyles. This team has got something special in the Tampa area, and Matt is going to go too hard. He's going to go over, he's going to try to save it, and that wheel just hanging on by a thread. He was able to get the save. What a run there from Matt Pagliarulo.
Gotta love that. Monster Jam fans loving the carnage there at the end. A huge air right here, landing really hard. You can see turns into it. The BKT just hooks up and rips the hub off the front of that Monster Jam truck.
7.521. Gravedigger now sits at the top, but will Adam Anderson walk out with the championship? More Freestyle continues next on Monster Jam. Welcome back to round 9 of Monster Jam. Today's festivities kicked off with the most family-oriented pit party in motorsports. Fans arrived early to Raymond James Stadium, where they got to meet their favorite drivers and see the trucks up close. If you want to attend the pit party at your next Monster Jam event, go to monsterjam.com. Now, during the break, Freestyle continued, but Bryce Kenny got the truck broken right here.
Bad bounce, similar to Jester, and that's going to end his run.
And then Kovenard Black Pearl unable to fill the clock. He's going to earn a 5.346. So frustrating Freestyle in there for Cole and the Black Pearl, but we are going to continue this competition with the Monster Jam Co-Rookie of the Year, Mike Pagliarulo in Excalibur. And Excalibur wasted no time and over and off the race ramp. Big time air there from Mike Pagliarulo.
Yeah, you can already tell Mike has that aggressive driving style right out of the gate. It's something that these Monster Jam fans love. Off to a good start. It's an easy way to carry momentum throughout the rest of the Freestyle.
Mike Pagliarulo now coming near side, whips the truck all the way around. So taking a long way around, got to find the right ramp to go. He hits it right up over the car stack. More big air brake check. Transfer jump onto the pod on the back side of that step up and all the way across. That is a great way to make it from one side of the track to the other.
It is a great way. Looks like he's going to get a little donut here, getting off into the cushion here in Tampa. Throwing a little dirt off those BKT tires. One of the big things I'm thinking about is the judging format now. You know, with these expert judges, you're going to have to think about what are they thinking? What is going to be the criteria of how they're going to judge? Do they want more two-wheel skills? Do they want a variety? I think that's something that the drivers really have to think hard about.
Well, Excalibur coming in for the Morgan backflip ramp. He's not going to have to think hard about this. Excalibur goes up, whipped around fast. And Mike Pagliarulo nails the landing, but he has got to get this thing refired. There is Matt telling him to keep going. Don't stop now, son. You got this. Take the win. And there is a very animated Matt Pagliarulo, and there is Excalibur not done yet, Adam.
Well, you can feel it in the stadium. The energy's there, and Matt's feeding off that, and so is Mike right now. Here we go for another big jump onto the pod.
The body sheds off Excalibur, just hanging on by a bolt. And all the way across to one side of the stadium and back. It's a perfect landing. And that'll do it. Check out the original Super Glue Blue to the Action replay.
What a run from Mike Pagliarulo. Great rotation on the backflip. Lands a little hard and then finishes it off with this huge jump onto the pod. Body parts flying everywhere.
That brings us to Kayla Blood in Sparkle Smash as she hits the track. Adam, let's talk about these two drivers at the top of the Freestyle leaderboard. We just saw Excalibur with that score of 8. We just saw Excalibur, Mike Pagliarulo getting an 8.644 and then Gravedigger 8.902. Without this expert judge, those scores strictly by the fans would most likely be in the 9 range.
Yeah, they definitely would. So you're seeing this kind of play out both ways. I'm sure Adam Anderson kind of maybe feels like he got robbed a little bit, but at the same time, it's going to even things out. And this is the new criteria, so you're going to have to figure it out one way or another.
And we use this criteria at World Finals, and it definitely balances out the scoring. So we'll see what happens here with Sparkle Smash. But you take a look around the pit party at Raymond James Stadium, a lot of pink, purple, and blue shirts. There is no denying the fan base, no denying the popularity, and I think that Caleb Blood and Jamie Sullivan are perfect representations of this truck and to bring this truck to life to our fans.
Yeah, I really do think they did a fantastic job picking both these girls. The personalities just fit absolutely right. Caleb Blood putting on a show so far, launches onto the pod there, working one side of the track to the other here in Tampa.
There's your score to beat 8.902. Adam Anderson kicked off the competition with that. He has held it ever since. Kayla making her third start at Raymond James Stadium. Best freestyle finish entering tonight was third, so she would love to get a little better than that, especially win and take that lead away from Gravedigger. Now up off the ramp onto the pod and across to the far side of the track. Kayla Blood turning the corner and going to line up for the Morgan & Morgan backflip ramp. Here goes Sparkle Smash, hits the ramp, big time air.
Oh, look at the air
all the way
on that.
around, and look at that back wheel hanging on by a thread. Still balances the truck, still lands it. And a great backflip for Sparkle Smash. Take a look at the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Wow, the crowd is hyped. Look at the height that Kayla Blood gets off that ramp. She hits the throttle as soon as she gets to the upside of the Morgan & Morgan backflip ramp. Wow.
Things are heating up and airing out of the Sunshine State, so stick around. The second half of Freestyle is next on Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master. Crush it, crash it, jam it. Welcome back to Primetime at Raymond James Stadium. During the break, freestyle action continue. Krakens ends up out of bounds into Black Pearl. Tough break here for Nick Pagliarulo.
Yeah, this is one of those things that's very unfortunate as a driver. You don't want to ever do, but just slides right into Black Pearl.
Lost the point there. Then Todd the Duke goes for it here, but he rolls Megalodon with under a minute left.
Yeah, just another bad bounce on top of that pod. Nothing really you can do.
That brings us to the four-time World Finals champion Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Won a racing competition earlier tonight, still adjusting the shocks in his new Son of a Digger truck. We've been talking about that all season, along with an update on that tonight at Raymond James Stadium. Let's go back to our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
I bet you guys didn't know that Adam and Ryan Anderson and Tyler Menega actually have a weekly phone call to discuss tracks, trucks, and setups. That's right, they share information, and they can do that now because their trucks are exactly the same. One critical piece of information that Ryan actually got from that conversation is about his shocks. He's having a really hard time with the truck. It's landing fine, but it's rebounding a lot. So what they did, they actually lowered the ride height of the shock this weekend, which means it's gonna make it a little softer. So it's still gonna land, but then it's not gonna have as much rebound in it. It's gonna be a little bit closer to Tyler's current settings.
Well, surprise, Leslie, we did know because, Adam, I'm the fourth person on that phone call. Well, that's some great information, though, and the shocks have been an issue for Ryan Anderson all season long.
Yeah, one of the big things is when you have other drivers that you can communicate with and trust to get information from, it really helps. And then you just have the amount of data going into these trucks, all three of these drivers, and not to mention there's some of the best drivers in Monster Jam. So I expect this truck to not only be good right now, but get better and better as the season goes on.
And all three of those drivers, Adam, are dealing with the same situation, the new
Yes.
setups in their new trucks and trying to get it right. It has been a frustrating at times year for some of these Gravedigger drivers trying to adjust, and they're all incredibly talented, and the trucks are amazing, but it's lining everything up and dialing it in that has been the issue.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to do, but 3 is better than 1.
And Morgan & Morgan backflip here for Son of a Digger. Ryan Anderson, perfect backflip into a one-wheel moonwalk on the back end combo move, and he is not done yet. Huge air.
Oh, there we go!
Biggest air of the night so far. Try to beat his brothers. Adam score 8.902. Bicycle in the gap onto a sidewall cyclone. What a run for Ryan Anderson.
Wow, that is what Ryan Anderson does so well. He can make it happen at any point. Ryan Anderson has them on their feet.
I don't know how that doesn't take the lead or win it. Take a look at the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Ryan Anderson with the backflip here. Great rotation. You're going to see the one-wheel moonwalk and then a huge air. He can almost see out of the Tampa Bay Bucs Stadium. Wow, what a run. Gets on 2 wheels, hits a cyclone. Great opportunity, great execution. Ryan Anderson on top.
Ryan Anderson wildly excited, rightfully so. 9.482. There's your new leader, Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger. Next up, out of Fortville, Indiana, Jamie Gardner and El Toro Loco. How do you follow that run, Adam?
I mean, realistically, you don't. You got to do something absolutely spectacular. You're going to need a little bit of luck on your side if you're Jamie Gardner. This is kind of worst case scenario situation as a driver. It doesn't matter who's going after him. If it was Tyler Menninga, Adam Anderson, Tristan England, Jamie Gardner, this is a hard spot to be in. The driver ahead of you had so much momentum, and now you got to keep the crowd on their feet.
Jamie knows his track very well. 13th start in Tampa Bay. He did win freestyle here back in 2020, so some success on this track, a lot of experience on this dirt can go a long way in putting together a great run. Nice jump on the far side race lane for Jamie Gardner. Comes on the backside. Now going to circle around the track, find his next point of attack. El Toro Loco slowing down a bit here.
Starting off a little slow here. Seems like Jamie Gardner is searching for something that he wanted to hit.
I'm not sure if he knows, maybe going for the 8-pack, maybe didn't know where it was at the time, and now he's just going right up over from the red side to the gray side and trying to make his way possibly over to the Morgan backflip ramp.
Yeah, it looks like he might be struggling a little bit here with throttle rhythm or something going on. He's really on and off the gas when I'm listening to the truck. Definitely doesn't sound like it's firing as well as it could be.
1,500 horsepower being put to the test right now. Jamie Gardner coming back to the near side of the track now, all the way over. So that was a long way to get to the backflip ramp, but he's got his angle now, and he's going to try to hit this thing. El Toro Loco goes up, and El Toro Loco comes down. So a successful backflip. If that was the end game, A+, he did it well.
Great rotation, great execution on that backflip. Hits reverse once again, slowing his momentum down, but he's going to get a big jump here.
Now he's got the throttle rhythm locked in. Gets right up over the pod again, comes down now over the ramp on the red side of this track. And that is just about doing it here for El Toro Loco. Has to back up, no more time on the clock. Here's the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Comes up to the Morgan backflip ramp. Great rotation. Hits the throttle at the perfect time.
Take a look at our current freestyle leaderboard. After 10 competitors, Son of a Digger has the lead. Gravedigger second, Excalibur third, Jester fourth, and Sparkle Smash in fifth. Wildside and JCB Diggatron still to come at Raymond James Stadium. The event championship is on the line. When we come back, JCB Diggatron hits the track next on Monster Jam Primetime. We are back with the conclusion of freestyle here in the Tampa Bay area, Raymond James Stadium. And we continue freestyle with Zach Gardner in Wildside, the JCB Racing World Finals racing champion, still trying to find his way here in the freestyle competition. Did have multiple wins on the arena circuit last year, but with an update on Zach and stadium freestyles tonight at Raymond James Stadium, we check back in with Leslie Mears.
So for Zach Gardner, he's found lots of places on this track that can really trip you up. But he said finally in Miami, he found the flow and he found more opportunities for success than mechanical failures. And so he's using some of that knowledge and building upon that with his freestyle to try to extend and make all of his time.
All right, thank you, Liz. That's what you have to look for, Adam. A lot of it, of course, is strategy and hitting jumps, but it's all about flow and getting that right frame of mind and being able to build on each track week after week.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing for Zach Gardner. The word I like is experience. You know, it's just something that you can't get if you're not in these stadiums all the time. Finding that flow, finding what works, finding what doesn't work, and you can't find that unless you're doing it.
Morgan backflip here for Wildside. Zach Gardner goes in, big time air on the back end of that jump. He goes in reverse. He's got some time left on the clock, and he's got a little more juice left in Wildside. So here comes Zach Gardner.
There we go.
There's your wow moment. Transfer jump onto the pod, comes right off again, this time sideways over the step up, trying to beat that 9.482.
Little bit of chaos after that huge air onto the pod. Zach Gardner getting it done. Another huge air onto the pod. Let's see if he can make a save. Wow, the truck awareness from this kid. You are seeing him heat up here tonight.
You want to talk about flow. Zach Gardner is feeling the flow right now. He's feeling the rhythm. Comes up short, saves it into a wheelie right on top of the pod. And a great run there for Zach Gardner. And we're going to go to the original super glue to the action replay.
A picture-perfect backflip from Zach Garner, landing on all 4 BKT tires. Great run from Wildside.
8.072. That brings us to our final competitor out of Paris, Texas, Tristan England. JCB Digatron. He needs to finish no worse than second here to win the event championship. Otherwise, it goes to Adam Anderson.
Nice little slap wheelie to start out the run.
Tristan has won the last 2 overall event championships, and he leads this series with freestyle average up over the 8.9 range with that win in Miami.
That was a great view of that jump there. You can see the ruts forming. A little bit more 2-wheel skill. He's going to get that nose wheelie, walk it down the pod. Great job from Tristan England.
Tries to flip it up again. This is a great track to try to be technical on it because of the unpredictability of the dirt. So why not give him a stoppie, give him a moonwalk, give him something on the pod, give him something they haven't seen yet. We are 11 trucks into this. He is the 12th. That is never a spot where you have the opportunity really to show anybody something they haven't seen. But Tristan England certainly is a guy to make that happen if he can.
Yeah, he's definitely making that happen. But one of the big things that happens in freestyle that you really have to be careful of is the balance of 2-wheel skills to carrying momentum, right? You want to give the fans and the judge as much as you can 2-wheel skills, show them the technical side, but you also want to carry that momentum and show them the speed.
Got momentum right here. Morgan backflip for Tristan England, and JCB Digatron right into the moonwalk on the back end. 9.482 is the score to beat. He does not have to win freestyle to win the event championship. Son of a digger currently with that freestyle lead, and that is going to do it. And that may have shut the door on Tristan England's event championship hopes. Take a look at the original super glue to the action replay.
Here's the backflip. Great rotation, and then you're going to see him hit reverse, grab that combination move into the moonwalk. Great job from Tristan England implementing the 2-wheel skills, but right here, this Tampa track just catches him off guard, goes to make that corner. He thinks it's gonna slide, lands on the hood.
8.098, not gonna get it done tonight. As we check out our freestyle top 5, 9.482 for Son of a Digger gets it done. Grave Digger second, Excalibur third, JCB Digatron fourth, and Wildside in fifth. So Ryan Anderson finally gets those bugs figured out, gets his first freestyle win of the season. Let's go down to the track to join Leslie Mears and our freestyle winner, Son of a Diggers, Ryan Anderson.
Ryan, this is the one that we've been waiting for, and I know you've wanted it so long too. Where were you able to draw inspiration for tonight?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I've had a rough start to my freestyles, and that's what I'm here to do. That's what I was born to do. So man, I was digging for anything. I busted out a lucky shirt that got me my first championship ever and said, man, if anything's gonna have some good juju, I need it. And then not to mention, we're in Tampa, baby. If anywhere it's king of Monster Jam, it's Florida, it's Tampa, it's Orlando. This is where Monster Jam was made. It's what made Gravedigger, it's what made me, it's what I needed tonight to knock it out of the park. Win, lose, or draw, I don't care about any of that mess. That freestyle was what I live for.
Ryan gets 12 points with the win as we check out our final BKT overall points standings. Gravedigger gets a win with 33, JCB Digatron with 31, Son of a Digger 27, Wildside 24, and Excalibur with 23. So the Anderson dominance continues at Raymond James Stadium. Another first tonight, and Anderson wins the overall. Here is Adam's first of the season. Let's go back down to Leslie to hear from our champion, Adam Anderson.
So the Black and Green back on top here with the overall, your first of the season. It seems like tonight was the night that you were able to kind of put everything behind you and put it all together.
You know what? We've been trying to do that as a team all season. These guys have got my back 110%. The truck is honestly 110%. It's just all new to us as a team and myself behind the wheel. So it's really difficult to handle this thing. But at the same time, I'm getting a hold of it. I'm figuring it out. These guys are tuning in. They're asking all the right questions. I got to give them the right feedback. We're working our way back up. We can only hope to go back to the top.
Do you think it had anything to do with you being in Florida? I feel like it's a special Gravedigger energy that you can pull from these fans.
110%. We thrive to drive here in Tampa. This is where it's at. This is Gravedigger's house. Win or lose, we want everybody on their feet here.
Thank you, Leslie. Huge night for Team Gravedigger with Ryan getting a freestyle win, Adam getting the overall. We talked about that history here with the Andersons. It continues tonight, but Tristan England still with a strong night. So tough to get points away from him when he's so consistent. He still hangs on to the series points lead.
Yeah, definitely tough to get those points, but Adam Anderson got the momentum he needed. Big night for him. Ryan and Tristan performing well. This is definitely a series, one to watch.
You can watch with us by staying right here. We'll be back in Tampa for round 10. Be sure to join us. For Adam Entignap and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam Primetime.